jalapenos after a while.
Like to call the February 12th, 2026 meeting to order at 2:04 PM. Machines open.
Oh, behind me.
France McCarty and Edwards.
Have a little something, you know?
Let
I'm gonna do that first.
let the record reflect that 8 council members are present, and Mr. LaFrance is in the building, but he's in another meeting. Everybody could stand so Dr. Gui could say their prayer, and Mr. Champagne the pledge.
He gave it to me. Bow our heads, please. We take this moment to acknowledge Almighty God and thank Him for our bountiful blessing, especially for the parish's natural resources. We give thanks to God for our brave and courageous men and women in our military who daily risk their lives to protect our precious freedom. And we pray for our world leaders to know how to obtain peace. We pray for this government body comprised of both council and administration. We pray we will always serve our parish with honesty, humility, and equality to all. And as this government body gathers here today, we pray for the wisdom to know right from wrong and the courage to do that which is right. Amen.
Amen. Please face the flag. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I thought I had shaken.
I tried to hold it.
Can we just go over the executive session and go to number 3 until Rennie says we're ready?
4 administration updates.
Mr. President, we're gonna wait on Rennie for executive session. They might still be in that meet. Well, he's back now. So we could go in executive session. Machines are open.
You, Ronnie?
Machines are open.
You want me to read them? 2A, executive session pursuant to LRS 4217A2 for the purpose of receiving attorney-client privilege information regarding Allison Jasper versus Plaquemines Parish Government et al., which is currently in litigation in the Federal District Court for the Eastern District of Louisiana, case number 25401. Parish Attorney Rennie Buer is presenting. B, executive session pursuant to LRS 4217A2 for the purpose of receiving attorney-client privilege information regarding Carol Arsenault and Rhonda Arsenault, State of Louisiana et al., which is currently pending approval for payment pursuant to Ordinance 2105. Parish Attorney Rennie Buer is presenting. Executive session pursuant to LARS 4214A2 and the Louisiana Code of Evidence, Article 506B. The council shall receive attorney privileged communications from its legal counsel regarding Midway Cattle Ranch LLC et al. Versus Plaquemines Parish Government, USDC EDLA 217 CV 07468. Attorneys Rennie S. Buer II and Danny Garrett. Councilmember Kotnovich.
I'll off ask for a second. Second by Mr. having a brain cramp, Edwards. Machines are open. Record show non-council members approve. Go into executive session at 2:08. With no bonding action. Next item, please.
4 administration updates.
A little short and sweet here. Good afternoon. As you all know, a couple of you, Ronnie and Mitch and Patty, we were all up in D.C. together. This past year, this trip, we didn't go up and ask for money. We were asking for things to happen. One of a major one was we talked to the delegation about FEMA and and the firm, the maps, the base flood elevations. The federal government has spent somewhere between like millions to billions, about 19 billions of money for, to achieve storm risk reduction in Plaquemines Parish. This is by new levees, flood walls, pump stations, gates. It's enhancing the existing levees and structures, but they still have not taken any of that work into consideration. So what our big ask was, and I think we're making some headway with that, is to get FEMA and get the Corps to rerun those maps and get these areas out of these V zones. And since we were returned, we've heard back, and FEMA has asked for more information on these analysis. So I think we're going to be making some headway with that. And also Kimberly and I, Ms. Buck, Commissioner Temple has reached out to us as well for a meeting, and also with Senator Cassidy wants Plaquemines Parish, to demand the restructuring of FEMA. So those were good meetings. It was like we were a broken record every time we walked into any of the senator's office. It was the same song we sang out every time. On another note here, the council, I just got a text from Mary Tuzat, one of the attorneys for us here. If the council asks, I just received an email from Atmos with the easement docs for the gas line for their generator. She'll be reviewing those today. So the generator for this building is making a little progress as well. So I think Mitch has kind of asked me that he's got something that he wants to bring up to the front.
Yes, I have some members of my district in the audience that want to speak on an issue going on in their neighborhood. I feel like, I want to get them up, since it's early in the meeting. Ms. Gross, would you be willing to come up and discuss your, what we've been talking about recently? Say your name and address for the record, please.
Good afternoon. My name is Edith Gross, and my address is 130 Adam Drive. And I am a resident of Belle Chase. And I previously filed a complaint regarding construction at 120 Adam Drive. I'm raising concerns about the permitting, compliance, and the use of this property. I'd like to give you a little timeline. Construction began approximately June 2025 before any permit was issued. I filed a complaint in late October regarding the lack of a permit. The owner applied in November of 2025, and a permit was granted on December 15th of 2025, after the metal building construction had already occurred. The permit identifies a concrete foundation, yet the structure was originally built on the ground. I pointed out to the zoning department a few weeks ago that it was on the ground. Today, I observed this morning, I was awakened by large trucks that they were in the process of pouring a foundation that had never been poured before. I respectfully request confirmation that all required inspections, footing, foundation, elevation, and floodplain compliance were conducted before this work. The permit application relies on a 2013 survey and a hand-drawn attachment rather than a certified current survey. The building is 28 by 30 feet and framed on 3 sides. I seek clarification on how the parish determines whether this structure qualifies as a carport or a garage, and what inspections or permits are required before any further enclosure or mechanical use. The property is located in FEMA Zone AE, making compliance with base flood elevation, anchoring, and floodplain development regulations. This is essential. Health and safety. There is a sandblasting or containment unit operating inside the garage, and substances occasionally drift toward my property. My husband has COPD, and I have respiratory problems as well, and we are concerned about any potential exposure. So I request that the Health Department or Code Enforcement confirm that all safety and containment requirements are being met for residential structures. The use, I have observed ongoing mechanical work on vehicles at the site, including vehicles delivered by tow trucks. My concern is that these activities may constitute a commercial use, which is prohibited in a residential zone. I request that Code Enforcement verify that all activity at this property complies with residential zoning regulation. As far as the diminution of my property, the frame, the size, and ongoing commercial activity, combined with proximity of the structure and potential airborne substances, may reduce the residential character of the neighborhood. This represents a possible diminution of my property value, and I respectfully request that the council and code enforcement ensure that all building, zoning, and health regulations are enforced to protect neighboring residents and maintain the integrity of the residential district. My overall concern is procedural, ensuring that the parish and FEMA regulations, including floodplain, building code, and zoning requirements, are being followed for this property. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. McCarty?
I'm sorry, I forgot your name.
Edith Gross.
Ms. Gross.
Yes.
Did you say it's 120 Adam Drive?
Yes, it is.
Okay, I'm looking at a map. Is that in the backyard along Rue Pochet?
In the backyard, yes.
Okay. That is a large building. And do you believe that they're going to be doing sandblasting in that building as well?
I don't know what's going to happen in that building. I have been just told every step of the way, just wait and see. I just know what I have seen. I have pictures. I have videos.
Okay. No, I understand. Does it look like that will also increase the traffic on the street? You know, if they have a business there?
It already has.
Okay. Because I do know that unless the laws changed, many years ago, I wanted to put a home office, and I checked into it, and you can't increase the traffic beyond 10% for just an office in your house. So thank you.
Mr. Chair?
Yes, sir.
We'll go ahead and, Mr. DeMarco has had a conversation with Ms. Edith, right?
Yes.
He's had conversation with her, so we will be getting code enforcement out tomorrow. If not, it'd be Monday, it'd be next week, so we will be getting to the bottom of this here, so we will be taking
I
care of
have
this.
two people in the queue.
Okay.
Still, Mr. Jurasich?
Yes, I do see that we did receive an email from Mr. Smith earlier today. Did you get that email?
I got the email right before I came here, yes.
Okay, yes, because he said he's going to be contacting you. We are looking into this. We are working on it. So our issue is we have to wait and see till we see exactly what's going on. I've talked to Ms. Rose many times about this, and you know, look, I understand what you're talking about. I'm right there too, so we're keeping a close eye on things. And until we can verify what you're saying, you know, it's going to be tough for us to move on it, but Mr. Smith will be contacting you.
If I might add, it's going to be tough either way at this point. If the permit had been secured the correct way, he wouldn't be out of the expense that he's had so far. And I wouldn't have had to suffer what I had to suffer. So it's suffrage both ways, but nevertheless, if you sidestep the rules, you end up in these situations.
Mr. Edwards?
Yeah. First of all, I want to commend you in terms of your knowledge on this subject. I was on the zoning board, and I don't think I could articulate it as better as you can. So obviously, you understand. But I think what I'm hearing in the midst of what you're saying, more important, that I think all of us commission need procedures.
Yes, sir.
Because that is where we get stuck all the time. So, Ms. Rhodes, can you share some light about the procedure stuff that she's talking about? Because procedure is very important. That's how we get in most of our mess, because we don't follow procedure and the same procedures for everyone.
Good afternoon. The procedures have been followed. Let me just say that first and foremost. The procedures have been followed. We did receive a complaint of a structure being erected without a permit. From that day, we sent out John Vukovich, our inspector, to put a stop work order. Plaquemines Parish Permits Department and Plaquemines Parish government does allow after-the-fact permits. However, this wasn't even considered maybe an after the fact because it wasn't even totally completed. So we had Mr. Billingsley come into the office and provide us with the documentation so we can issue him a permit for a carport. However, the carport isn't finished. He is still working to complete and close out the permit. Now, whether or not he is going to do some kind of illegal activity after the carport is erected, we don't know because it's not completed. It's just a frame. So whether he's using it for a carport, a mechanic shop, or any other type of activity has not been determined yet because the structure is not completed.
My question would be, prior to him doing anything, he should have filed something, and we should know what the procedure is because he had to file a permit. Because I'm hearing you saying we don't know yet, but before anything started, isn't that a process we should file a permit for saying I want to build X or Z?
Again, he has filed a permit for a carport.
Before we started doing anything?
A lot of people throughout the parish will start construction. If we find out, we put a stop work, and then we allow them to come into compliance. He has done that. That is procedure throughout the parish for everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Amitra.
Thank you, Ms. Rowe.
No problem.
Mr. DeMarco?
Any way for me to just say one thing?
Yes, ma'am.
He did not follow procedure, and I don't mean to. He did not even follow the after-the-fact permit. I think if I had not said anything about the foundation, he would still be on the ground. But then, like right now, what type of foundation do we have? That's important. We're in a floodplain. This is really important. So just going out throwing some cement on the ground this morning was a waste of money. That doesn't need to be there. So I yield. Thank you.
Thank you. Next item, please.
5, bids and advertisements. 5A, a resolution authorizing the purchasing agent to advertise for and dispose of surplus vehicles and equipment on an as-is basis through public auction conducted by Henderson Auctions and otherwise to provide with respect thereto. Councilmember Kotnovich.
I'll offer as for a second. Second by Mr. LaFrance. Any questions from the audience? Administration? Board? Machines are open. Let the record show it passes 9-0.
B, a resolution authorizing the acceptance of bids for furnishing, printing, letterhead, business cards, etc. for a period of 1 year for parish-wide use and otherwise to provide with respect thereto. Councilmember Kotnovich.
I'll offer as for a second. Second by Ms. McCarty. Any questions from the audience?
Yeah.
Ms.
Could you tell the people what company got the bid?
Print all.
Okay.
Any other questions from the audience? Administration? Mr. Champagne?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I looked at this bid, and first thing I looked for was a bid tabulation sheet. If you look at 5C, they're ordering 11,000 a pump and got a bid tabulation sheet that showed who supplied bids, what the cost was, and this was for an $11,000 piece of equipment. So I look at this on 5B. we're looking at spending over $25,000 on printable material. Not saying there's not a need, but I'm like, okay, where was this advertised? And it was obviously, and I checked on it, was advertised in the Gazette and Central Bidding. Central Bidding is a paid bidding service. So if you're a small print shop, you're not going to pay, $100 a year to subscribe to Central Bidding. So you either had to look in the Gazette or you're not getting it. So if you're a print shop somewhere in the region, you didn't see this. When we're dealing with other people's money, this is a significant amount of money to spend on cards and envelopes and letterheads. And it gives the appearance of almost sole sourcing because it went in the Gazette, the very company that owns Printall that's bidding on this. It just a bad appearance. Not saying they're the wrong guys. I just think that we need to be able to compare other print sources because we're spending the public's money. I think that this should have been advertised not only in our local paper, but in the Times-Picayune and the Gazette, or we should have reached out like they did on 5C and reached out to other pump companies. So we should have reached out to local printers and said, hey, can you provide this? If nothing else, it gives the appearance of being fair and equitable. And, and hopefully they are the low bidder. But right now, I can't compare it to anything. I have one bid to look at. We may be able to get this very same job done for $15,000, $20,000. I don't know because I'm not a printer, but I can't look at this fairly. I recommend that we hold off on this. And another thing, many of these, we're going to be changing. We have an election next year, so we're going to spend $25,000 on letterheads, and all they're going to have the council's named when half the council's going to be changing. So we're going to throw half of this stuff away potentially because I doubt if we go through this in a year. So if some of us on the letterheads are gone, it's no longer any good. We have a couple of people here who are not going to be here. You're not going to be here, Reverend Edwards. A couple of people are terming out. So is there a need? And it's on here, the letterhead. So again, I think we need to take a good look at this. And the reason I bring this up, it doesn't seem like a lot of money, but it is because we are running out of money. You'll see later on, we're about to spend a lot of money on stuff we shouldn't be. So every little bit matters. I recommend that we delay this, and if there is a bona fide need for this year, I guess purchase less quantity because we are going to be changing names on the letterheads. And number two, reach out, be proactive with other print shops, the local ones in the region, and do comparative analysis and get the best bang for the buck. And if Printall's it, by God, give them the job. But let's be smart about it. Let's give the appearance of being fair and equitable. I yield.
Mr. Newsom?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. To bring up Mr. Champagne's point, I didn't realize it. I looked at it, he's right. Do we have a standard on bidding, what we bid? Do we just to stuff? And I'm asking because I don't know. I'm just asking because I don't know who the person to ask the question to. Because as Mr. Champagne said, we had one bid. Is there a standard that we go by?
That would be Ms. Stanifer, and I guarantee you, there's procedures that she follows.
Would you agree with what Mr. Champagne said about putting it out at a broader?
I could agree to that, but let me say this right here. I would have to go back and check our letterhead. I don't think when we print letterhead in my office, it doesn't come from a box. Right. It comes. Right. So we
only pay for cars as you order them.
Right.
Because we spend $25,000 across the board. I'm not sure. I don't have the document.
Well, I know should we buy throughout the year? Those are the numbers. That's what they're offering up.
Yes. It's not.
Okay. I'm just kind of with Mr. Champagne on this.
But to answer your question, there are procedures, and I'm going to tell you. Hardcore procedures. When it comes to Brenda Stanifer, yes, very hardcore.
I do understand. I'm sure Mr. Brand, I've sat in meetings with her before, and
even during the hardest of times, when it's hitting the fan, she still follows procedures.
All right, yes. She wants you to go through the process, but and that's all. I just bring up Mr. Champagne's point. That was a great point that we ask for a pump and we get 3 bids, and we ask for this and we don't get it. That's it. Thank you.
Mr. Edwards?
Yeah, I totally agree with Mr. Champagne on his assessment of this process. And it's nothing against Ms. Sandoval, but this process, Mr. Champagne just lists the thing that Mr. President said wasn't there, and we show that they do have letterheads on here. So again, we need to get into this. So I'm preferring that we do defer this and then get back to Sandoval to look at this process, because I'm totally agree. I'll vote no if it's come up to vote, so.
Yes, ma'am. Can,
I reached out to purchases and finance, and it was sent to other companies. But this is the only bid we received. Southern Professional Printing in New Orleans, Chris Leopold Specialty Company in Belle Chase, and Sir Charles Investments in Avondale, Louisiana.
Ms.
But
McCarty?
only print all.
I'm not saying that what Mr. Champagne has said is incorrect, but from a small business owner, I know that when I sold computers, each parish, each entity, each school board has their official place to publish their bids, and I had to go search through each of those locations to find the bid. It's the obligation of the small company to do that. Thank you.
Mr. Schultz?
Yeah. While I agree with not receiving more bids and stuff and the concern, I didn't look into it that much, but I also have concern that if we're going to reject a bid that was followed by law just because they were the sole bidder, then that opens us up to potential litigation. And that, again, I haven't looked at that in a long time, and Mr. Pierce is not here. But if we're just rejecting it because it was sole bid, I forgot you're back there. I forgot you're here because you had your surgery. Maybe you can answer that, Mr. Garrett.
This had been a sealed bid issue, and there was only one bidder. I do think you're correct. Unless the bid, it was in excess of the money appropriated, you would be obligated to award the contract. But since this falls underneath the threshold for sealed bids, this is just a purchase, and so y'all can just choose to buy it or not.
Mr. Champagne?
No, I think there was a misinterpretation of what I was saying. I said the appearance of that. I'm not saying anything happened. Now, Ms. Taylor says there were more bids. All you had to do was attach the bid sheet to this, and it wouldn't even came up, just like we did on 5C. So you could have had a bid sheet that showed the other businesses that supplied no bid. This would have been a non-issue. And for the public, they would have seen that we did our due diligence, put it out to all the print shops in the area, and only one responded, and by God, he gets the bid. Apparently, that's the case. And if that is the case, I have no issues. But my point is the appearance. We're always worried about how we look, and we need to, because we're spending other people's money. So my recommendation is, my point I want to make is, if we have something like this in the future, and there's a bid, and that we have put that out to other companies, and they submitted no bid, list it. Acme Printing Company was provided the opportunity, it issued a no bid, got it. No one will be able to say that we didn't do our due diligence and looking out for other people's money.
You are
So,
correct, and
at
I'll
this
pass
point-
that on to purchasing. That
Thank you. And at this
they
point,
did
with
not
that-
respond, they need to attach
And
that.
with that being said, I'll vote for this from Prental because they did the right thing. That was my only concern, not who it is, just how the process appeared. I yield.
Any other questions? Machines open. Record show passes 9-0. Next item.
C, a resolution authorizing the acceptance of bids for furnishing submersible pumps for a period of 1 year for parish-wide use and otherwise to provide with respect thereto. Councilmember Kotnovich.
I'll offer ask for a second. Second by Mr. Newsom. Any questions from the audience?
Well, you know what the answer is. Give me the answer, because you know what the question is. What company get the bid? So we don't have that information here. So let the people know who get the bid.
Is it
Who was the lowest bidder?
lowest one? J.H. Wright? J.H. Wright.
Okay. Thank you.
Mr. Newsom?
Yes. On this, also, we need to do a better job of when we put this out, is putting the right people on here. Mr. Morgan is not, is currently works for Infomark. So purchasing, tell them they need, tighten up on that also.
With that, any other questions?
I don't know if we want to if we need to make an amendment, should we make an amendment on the table?
Does that need to be changed?
Because
Just changing
it's the wrong company on here.
Morgan works for. It's on line 12.
Okay.
That machine's open. Let the record reflect, passes 9-0. Next item.
6 beer and liquor licenses. 6A Buttheads Grill, 103 Avenue A, Suite 14, Belchase, Louisiana. Myrtle Grove Bar, 17509 Highway 23, Port Sulphur, Louisiana. Family Gras located at 15575 Highway 15, Dayton, Louisiana, 70040 on February 15th, 2026, starting at 9 o'clock a.m. and ending at 6 o'clock p.m. Jesuit Bin Market in the Park annual permit for 2026, located at 12888 Highway 23, Belchase, Louisiana, 70037. Family Dollar Store, 31682, located at 36175 Highway 23, Buras, Louisiana. Family Dollar Store, 29062, located at 9579 Highway 23, Belchase, Louisiana. Family Dollar Store, 23518, 28534 Highway 23, Port Sulphur, Louisiana.
Mr. Schultz offers a second. Second by Mr. LaFrance. Any questions from the audience? Administration? Council? Machines are open. Let the record show they passed 9-0. You do 1, 2, and 3 in global.
7, construction permits, 7A1, Shell Pipeline Co., application number 2026-51, application date 1/2026, after the fact installation of sandbags and H-pile support timbers Delta Loop pipeline. JMI Elmwood repair and maintenance, application number 2020.
Crystal, skip that one.
Oh, okay. Perdido Energy, application number 2026-25, application date 1/8/26, proposed 4-inch gas pipeline from POB at East Black Bay facility to Locks facility, Main Pass, Block 23.
Wait, Mr. Edwards offers a second. You wanted to skip that one? Yeah. Yeah, we can. Mr. Jurasich seconds. Are there any questions from the audience? Administration? Audience? Yes, sir. They're putting sandbags. They ain't taking nothing.
Yeah, Clarence Brocks, 156 Enos Campbell Lane. It sounds like they got H-beam and a bunch of sandbags holding up a pipeline. That don't sound like a good thing. But I just want to add on to the pipeline. I know it's probably way out in the Gulf somewhere, but where is it going to end or where it's going to start? The starting part.
Don't know.
Don't know. That's good. Good enough answer. And I don't know if you're going to let me do it, but if you say no, I'll go sit back to my seat. But when Mr. President did his presentation, I wanted to say something on it, but you didn't say any questions from the public. If you did, I didn't hear it. So it's up to you. Can I respond on that?
Is it going to be long?
No, 1 minute.
Go ahead.
And Mr. President, I have to answer. You said you went to Baton Rouge or somewhere? In D.C.? And you talked about elevation. That's one of my main points. So it sounds like we're going to be able to. Early. That's good. All right. Because still people want to come live on our side of the river but can't afford it. It still costs way too much to elevate a home. And
it was going to be short.
Say 1 minute. We can't afford.
That is, to go ahead and make it brief, one of our conversations was that we're spending all of this money, but they're still prohibiting us from being able to move back to our communities with these high base flood elevations. So that is the objective here, is to get the money that we're spending on the levees and all, also the coastal restoration projects, you have to recognize that that work has to mean something and stand for something. So that let's bring these elevations down so that our residents can come back and build something more livable. So that's the objective there.
Okay.
But we're very early stages.
Thank you.
All right, thanks.
Mr.
Appreciate it.
Josich.
Yes, the two pipelines in question, one of them's in Quarantine Bay right there inside of Quarantine Bay, actually back Levee Canal inside of Quarantine Bay. Another one goes from Black Bay, I think, out to the main pass, LLOX. So none of these they are well below the populated areas.
Ms. McCarty?
I'm looking at the map, and I haven't been out there in a long time, but I see what looks like Ostrika Canal. Locks, I'm not sure. Okay, to the left? Okay, I do know that there are pipelines that are about 5 feet hanging out the water, up above the water line out there that we need to actually go take a look at because it's a disaster waiting to happen because there's no support underneath it. And I know this because my family owns the land next to the canal. So I think somebody needs to go and look at that and make sure that everybody's in compliance.
Any other questions? Machines open. Let the record show it passes 6 with 3 abstentions. Go to 2.
JMI Elmwood Repair and Maintenance Application Number 2025-452, permission to conduct routine maintenance dredging within Bayou Barataria, Bayou Road, Belchase. Councilmember Jurisic.
Mr. Jurisic offers there a second. Second by Mr. Newsom. Any questions from the audience? Administration? Ms. McCarty?
Mr. Jurisic, may I ask if this is the same company that has been causing issues in the Intercoastal Canal? Do you know? I don't want to go into the issue.
Right, I think this is a different facility. If I'm not mistaken, it's right there off the island, Hero Island. So it's just a maintenance, huh? That's Bayou Road across the canal. It's across the canal from where that other
It's not the
facility was.
location you're talking about, Ms. Pat.
No, it's not.
Any other questions? Machines open. And it passes 8 with 1 abstention. We're going to defer it 4 until Mr. Burris comes back.
7, building permits. Do you want to take the fireworks in Globo?
Yes.
Ducks Fireworks, Inc., Donald Durr Fireworks Stand Renewal for 2026, 9127 Highway 23, Belchase, Louisiana. Ducks Fireworks, Inc., Donald Durr Fireworks Stand Renewal for 2026, 9590 Highway 23, Belchase, Louisiana. Lot Boys 2, Logan Lot Fireworks Stand Renewal for 2026, 1454 Woodland Highway, Belchase, Louisiana. Cardinal Fireworks, new owner Logan Lot Fireworks Stand Renewal for 2026, 215 Croatian Way, Belchase, Louisiana.
Do I have an offer? Dr. Gouy offers, Champagne seconds. Are there any questions in the audience? Administration, council, machines open. Passes 9-0. Does anybody need to take one out, or can we do them all in global? Take them all.
The rest of them? AMW 77 LLC Maurice Weskovich Jr. Permanent RV and Trailer Park Renewal for 2026, 100 Riverside Lane, Boothville, Louisiana. Goodman's Trailer Park, Inc., Todd Goodman Permanent RV and Trailer Park Renewal for 2026, Goodman's Lane, Boothville, Louisiana. Fort Boothville Campsites, Fort Boothville LLC Permanent RV Park Renewal for 2026, 41073 Highway 23, Boothville, Louisiana. Deep South RV Park LLC Michael Valiant Permanent RV Park Renewal for 2026, 32368 Highway 23, Burris, Louisiana. Kamal and Held LLC Permanent Trailer Park Renewal for 2026, 111 Ernie's Lane, Boothville, Louisiana. Emmett's Trailer Park, Dennis Adolph Jr., permanent trailer park renewal, Yvonne's Lane, Boothville, Louisiana. Woodridge Park Trails LLC, Knockan Cindy Vu, temporary RV park renewal for 2026, 12 spaces, 2716-3 Highway 23, Port Sulphur, Louisiana. Clay Boudreaux, temporary RV park renewal for 2026, 16 spaces, 200 and 232 West Cass Lane, Lake Hermitage, Louisiana. First Equity, Inc., Plaquemines RV Park LLC, temporary RV park renewal for 2026, 92 spaces, 120 and 130, A through I, 170, 180, 190, 200, 210, and 220, A through J, 230 and 240, A through G, Foster Road, Port Sulphur, Louisiana. Kathy Haroff, temporary RV park renewal for 2026, 18 spaces, 31108 Highway 23, Naren, Louisiana.
That all fast for a second? Second by Mr. LaFrance. Any questions from the audience? Administration, council, machine's open. The record show it passes 9-0.
8, introduction of ordinances and resolutions.
The following are under Councilman Kokanovic, a resolution authorizing the parish president to enter into a cooperative endeavor agreement between Plaquemines Parish School Board and further authorizing the president to sign on behalf of Plaquemines Parish government any and all documents necessary and proper to perfect or enforce this agreement. An ordinance approving a plan of re-subdivision of Lot B1, John J. Blanchard property, Boothville, Plaquemines Parish, Louisiana, into lots B1A and B1B, John J. Blanchard property, Boothville, Plaquemines Parish, Louisiana, as shown on a plan and plat of survey by Dufresne Surveying and Engineering, Inc., dated November 13, 2025, the owner having fulfilled all of the requirements of the subdivision and re-subdivision ordinance of the parish of Plaquemines without cost to the Plaquemines Parish government or the parish of Plaquemines, and otherwise to provide with respect thereto. The next two are for Councilmember Jurisic. An ordinance to approve the amended pay plan and classification schedule adopted by the Civil Service Commission on blank 2026, and otherwise to provide with respect thereto. An ordinance approving a plan of re-subdivision of part of Section 90, Township 14 South, Range 24 East, Belle Chase, Plaquemines Parish, Louisiana, into lots GS5 and GS6, part of Section 90, Township 14 South, Range 24 East, Belle Chase, Plaquemines Parish, Louisiana, as shown on a map of re-subdivision by Dufresne Surveying and Engineering, Inc., Jonathan P. Dufresne, dated October 24th, 2025, the owner having fulfilled all the requirements of the subdivision and re-subdivision ordinance of the parish of Plaquemines, without cost to the Plaquemines Parish government or the parish of Plaquemines, and otherwise to provide with respect thereto. The next one is for Councilmember LaFrance, a resolution approving the issuance of a 2-year extension to Woodland North Borrow Pits LLC for the existing borrow pit on property located in a floodplain zoning district at 17300 Highway 23, Port Sulphur, Louisiana, all in accordance with application number 2021-402, dated July 16, 2021, and otherwise to provide with respect thereto. The next one is under Councilmember Champagne, an ordinance to amend the 2026 General Fund Operating Expenditure Budget, Parish Council District 2 Department, and otherwise to provide with respect thereto. The following two resolutions are for Councilmember Edwards, a resolution to change the name of the Davant Pool in Davant, Louisiana to Fishermen and Concerned Citizens Association, and otherwise to provide with respect thereto. And finally, a resolution to create a Port Customer Advisory Committee, and otherwise to provide with respect thereto. And that's it for the council.
I'd like to go back to item 2C.
Which one?
2C,
Oh, yeah, Midway.
yes.
The court.
It's 7A4.
No, I'll just go back to 2C.
You want to do the executive session?
Yes.
Okay. Executive session pursuant to LARS 4214A2 and the Louisiana Code of Evidence, Article 506B, the council shall receive attorney-client privileged communications from its legal counsel regarding Midway Cattle Ranch LLC et al. Versus Plaquemines Parish Government, USDC EDLA 217 CV 07468, attorneys Rennie S. Bierce II and Danny Garrett.
I'll offer as for a second. Second by Mr. LaFrance. Machine's open. The record show passes 9-0, going in executive session at 3:24.
Why is this? Well, yeah, it was just written on here.
PM with no binding action. Can we go to 7A2, A4? 7A4.
LLC application number 2025-731 dated December 23rd, 2025, a new borrow pit permit to operate at 850 W Ravenna Road, Belchase. Councilmember LaFrance.
Ms. LaFrance, can you cue in? No, wait.
You're in.
Yes, I have a motion I would like to make. Mr. Garrett, can you make the motion that we discussed?
Can you turn his mic on?
A motion to approve a temporary conditional permit on application 2025-731 dated December 25, 2026. Applicant Midway Cattle LLC for a new borrow pit to operate at 850 West Ravenna Road, Belchase, in the parish of Plaquemines, under Ordinance 18-90F of the Plaquemines Parish Code of Ordinances, subject to the following conditions. Applicant may continue operating until August 15, 2026, unless extended by the council or upon the issuance of an unconditional permit. And applicant shall, within 7 days, provide a written description of the mechanism for determining the baseline of a permit issued under application 2025-731 to facilitate the determination of any backfill requirement that may ultimately apply to the site of application 2025-731 and shall provide a sufficient survey in a timely manner thereafter. And the dirt and suitable materials as described in Section 18-88 of the Plaquemines Parish Code of Ordinances from the site, which is the subject of application number 2025-731, may only be sold or provided for the use in a currently active public levy project in Plaquemines Parish funded by the federal government through the United States Army Corps of Engineers.
Mr. LaFrance, you offer?
I so offer.
Mr. LaFrance offers. There a second? Second by Mr. Champagne. Any questions from the audience? Can you state your name and address for the record, please? Turn the mic on.
Is it on?
Yes, ma'am.
There we go. Claire Bienvenue, attorney with Lisco and Lewis, represent Midway Cattle. We appreciate the council's time today and the temporary permit that has been proposed. We do take issue with the third condition about only selling to public government projects, and we'd like to offer, to have a discussion at your about not having that condition. We understand this is a new permit application. However, that's not a condition under the 2012 borrow pit ordinance. And to go into some of the background, if anyone is not familiar here, this site has been in continuous operation since 2014. And this permit application, there are no changes to the operations. We applied for a new permit in 2020, and this condition was not a part of that permit. So we ask for that same requirement for this permit.
Any other questions? Thank you.
Arthur Henry Bell Chase. This borough pit, I agree with you, Colton. As long as it's for the dirt to be used in Plaquemine Parish, I'm fine with it. But not to go nowhere else. We got enough holes, man.
Thank you. Any other questions from the audience? Administration? Council? Machines are open on the ordinance. As written. Let the record show it passes 9-0. Go back to the original agenda. Does anybody have any withdrawals or deferrals? Queue in?
She has to withdraw the last introduction.
All right. Okay.
That's it.
Mr. Champagne?
Yes, I'm going to defer 9A1, 9A2, and 9A3.
Thank you. Ms. McCarty? 6B will be deferred. Any others?
9A4.
9A4.
It says 9, 6B.
1, 2, 3, and 4.
9A4.
I know.
So 1, 2, 3.
And then B. B.
What is this?
Okay, can you go?
Ready? 9, ordinances and resolutions on second reading and final passage. 9A, ordinances and public hearings pursuant to Article 6, Section 601E of the Plaquemines Parish Charter. 9A5, an ordinance to amend and amended to readopt Section 4 of Ordinance Number 142, the Comprehensive Zoning Ordinance of Plaquemines Parish, Louisiana, as amended, and the Comprehensive Zoning District Map therein adopted by reference, in which is paragraph thereto with reference to application number 2025-611, dated September 12, 2025, and otherwise to provide with respect thereto. Councilmember Jurisic.
Mr. Jurisic off, is there a second? Second by Ms. McCarty. Any questions from the audience?
Arthur Henry Bell Chase. Where's the property located?
Down below the woodland plantations? Sand pit on the river.
Okay, all right.
Any other questions from the audience? Administration? Mr. LaFrance?
Yes, what district is this in?
You know what district it's in? 7.
So you want to offer something in my district?
Yes, I do.
I think we have a problem with that, councilmen. When we going to start offering items in other people's districts, I think this is going to be a slippery slope, because I think then if this passes, then I'll be able to offer different things in each other district.
Bring it.
You finished, Mr. LaFrance?
Yes.
Mr. Jurisic?
This can has been kicked down the road quite a while. We've already approved everything adjoining this property. We've rezoned it. And once again, whenever you're singling someone out, I look at it as a personal issue. This is to move forward, rezoning to industrial, increases revenue for our parish, getting it out of floodplain. This is for the betterment of the parish as a whole. That's why I'm moving on this. And I'm going to continue to move on things that are better for the parish as a whole. We don't own a district. We represent a district. And that's one thing I want to make clear. And if we see something that's better, and you want to step on my toes because it's better for the parish, please do so if I'm not seeing things that way. But this definitely will increase revenue in the parish by changing this zoning, getting it out of floodplain, and putting it in industrial. Thank you.
Mr. Schultz?
Yes, Mr. LaFrance. Looking at the language and everything, it appears 9A4 is the exact same thing that you deferred again. And I have seen the emails from the landowner try and address any concerns. Is there a reason why?
Some questions that I'm trying to get answers from whether or not this should be allowed in front of our water intake. Again, this is right above our water intake, and I'm waiting on, I didn't get the answer yet that I had for.
But if it went through been approved by the zoning board, would that, Jeff, not have gone through permits and all that for that concern? That's what I'm just trying to figure out. I mean, it's been approved by the zoning board and it's been now 4 times deferred. First one looks like December 11th, and we're now February 12th. So
Yeah.
that's why I'm asking.
You know, our ordinance, unless y'all want to change the ordinance, our ordinance states that we don't have to take this up for 120 days, and it hasn't happened yet.
No, I agree with that. I was just asking. I yield.
Ms. Jurcich?
Yes, I think we had Ms. Rose get up to the microphone at one of these deferrals and explain what can go and what can't go, without approval. 'Cause I know some things can go before without the council approval. But if it's going to be something that's definitely going to harm our water intakes and stuff like that, that's got to come before us. And then we can make that decision whether or not we allow that type of, you look further upriver, just because the water intake's right there. We got refineries all up and down the river that could affect the water intake below. So, this is one of them things that we pushed it down the road. We've heard Miss Rose get up here and speak on it before, and she gave us what we would be, what we could allow and what we'd have to vote on. And if it's something that's going to hurt our water intake, I don't want it either. But I'm just looking at, it's a rezoning, and we can halt anything in that gets built in there if it comes before us.
Mr. LaFrance?
Yes. When we talk about water, notice where we live, and notice that we're living in Cancer Alley. This is the highest rate of cancer of people who live along this Mississippi River. And I'm tell you what, I would like to know what's going on before we even make a decision. Of course, that we don't have that right. But however, again, I'm waiting on answers, and I haven't got it yet. So that's why I deferred this item. All money is not good money.
Mr. Champagne?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I think both of you gentlemen bring up good points. First of all, Councilman Jurcich, you're looking for the best interests of the parish. I get it. We all are, certainly. And Councilmember LaFrance is looking out for the best interests in his district. And I think, as he stated, you have 120 days to action this. I would think he should be afforded that 120 days. Then after that, that's when we start looking and saying, hey, is this truly something that's happened in the best interest of the parish? Because it's gone beyond what we allow. Then I think that's when we would look at that consideration. My concern is, as he stated, that we begin to reach in other people's districts and operate outside of our areas of expertise. So again, I think both of you have good points. I think that, we should let the 120 days potentially play out, and after that, then I think it warrants reconsideration. I yield.
Mr. Edwards?
Yeah, and my question to Ms. Rose, if you don't mind, because I'm trying to get some clarity. If we postpone this for 120 days, will it cause us some problem at all? Because Mr. Fran said that we allowed 120 days. So will this cause a problem if we defer this?
No, sir.
I yield.
Huh?
We're at 111 days right now from the zoning board. So if you defer this again, we can't. We won't get to 120. We'll be past 120. We're at 111 days right now.
Mitch can keep it.
This is Mitch's anyways.
No, I'm just saying, that's.
Thank you, Ms.
I'm making
Rose.
sure Mr. LaFrancis.
Started over, I think, with Fitch. No?
No, it's 120 days from the zoning board hearing.
Mr. Edwards, you good?
Yes, I yield.
Mr. Jurcich?
Yes, Mr. Champagne brought up some points, but I feel like if it's 111 days, we have to move on this. We have to move. We're going to move on it one day. Somebody will. But what I want to say to the Woodland Borough Pits, they have reached out to us. We've all been copied in the emails and to Mr. LaFrance. Mr. LaFrance not once has answered Mr. Hogan's emails. Not once has he returned a phone call. If he wants to know what's going on, open conversation with this man. Don't cut him out. And that's why I'm moving on this, because we've all had a chance to watch it. And no response. No response is not going to get you a response either.
Mr. LaFrance.
Yes. I had a response from Mr. Hogan at a meeting last week, or the week, or the meeting before. He stood up right here and said, basically said he had amnesia. He forgot the discussion we had.
Done. Mr. Newsom?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So, I guess this is a question for Ms. Rose. I'm sorry to keep bringing in Ms. Rose. So the 120 days is the date of when the zoning board heard this issue?
No, it was from the day of introduction.
Okay. So it's the day that it was introed, so it's not the October 21st date?
Correct. It's the date that it was introduced to the council.
Mr. Schultz?
So the zoning hearing date has nothing to do with the 120 days? I thought we had to act from the 120 days from the zoning hearing.
I believe it reads that it's 120 days from the date of the introduction. I don't have my book with me. Hold on.
Because I was always interpreted as from the day of the zoning hearing. So if that's the case, then 120 days from, then I'm wrong. But
I was supposed to go back to the office to get my material, but I've been
no,
here
it's fine.
since 1.
Rennie, do you know?
Give me 1 second. I can pull it up on my
It's
phone.
in my office.
It's kind of complicated language, so I always got to look it up whenever it's, whenever this issue comes up. Whenever a petition is filed requesting a change or amendment to this ordinance, and said petition has been finally acted upon by the Plaquemines Parish Council or its successor, or when said petition has received no action on the part of the Plaquemines Parish Council or its successor within 120 days, or when said petition has been officially advertised for public hearing but has subsequently been withdrawn either before or after public hearing has been held, then the Plaquemines Parish Council or its successor shall not consider any further petition proposing any change or amendment for the same property within a 2-year period from the date of the Plaquemines Parish Council's successor's final legal action on said petition, or from the aforesaid 120 days period in case action has not been taken by the council or successor, or from the date of withdrawal from said petition, provided, however, that said petition had been officially advertised. It says whenever a petition is filed, so shall not be no further petition whenever the petition has been filed. We've traditionally, I'm trying to think of how let me look at this for a minute. Can we come back to it, or?
Can we go to the next?
That's what I'm saying. I'm trying to look at my notes from what I wrote in the past.
Well, he's busy reading. Mr. Edwards?
Yeah.
Today's a crazy day.
Also, I also look up the process for a council, a member from another district introducing something. See what our process.
So it says, when said petition has been received, no action on the part of the Plaquemines Parish Council. So I think the receiving is when you all receive whenever the zoning board does their thing, and then she presents you with the formal ordinance. I believe that's when the 120-day clock starts running. Huh? Okay.
The day that it's first.
Ms. McCullough, can you cue in?
The day that it's first heard, not the day that it's introduced, is what you're saying.
You're saying what?
Y'all good? Y'all good to go? You ready? Oh, you want to go to the next item?
Where's Amitri?
Go to the next item. Next item, please. Okay, hold up again.
All right, the official legal position is when it's received by you all, because you can't take any action until something is presented to you. So there's nothing for you to do until you're presented with something. So it's whenever you receive it. So you received the initial introduction when?
December the 11th was the first council meeting, right? That was introduced.
November 17th, around that, yeah.
Yeah, it says a final yea or nay vote shall have been taken on the proposal by the Plaquemines Parish Council or its successor within 100 days from the introduction of any ordinance or the adoption of a motion by the Plaquemines Parish Council or from the filing of the petition of property owners or owner in correct form. So the absolute latest would be when you all receive it. So
Introduction.
introduction, correct. Because that's the point at which you can take action or take no action. Before that, there's nothing for you to do. You can't approve anything or you can't deny anything because it's not before you.
Because the meeting, before we vote the introduction, we can't take any action, so we got to leave it over for 2 weeks. And then the first time we could vote on it is when the time starts.
Is it what?
Either way, we're at 92 days from November 13th meeting, so if we wait 14 more days, we're still within 120 seconds.
Correct. And it also says or a motion. So that would be the motion upon which you could adopt it. So it gives you three options. It says a final yea or nay vote shall have been taken on a proposal or its successor within 120 days from the introduction. So the introduction is an option. Or the adoption of a motion by the Plaquemines Parish Council. Well, that would require you to file a motion to vote on it, right? So it could be that date. Or from the filing of the petition of the property owners in its correct form, which would predate all of this.
Mr. Juris.
Yes, that's just confusing to me that you got three different options.
Well, that's the ordinance the council wrote, so I'm sorry. Are you saying there's no you're saying the window between the motion and the introduction or will put you either in or out?
No.
Okay. So what's the problem?
Is it going to fall into 120 days if we wait till the next meeting, or is it?
It'll be still inside the 100.
Is that what counts? Because I'm hearing three different things count, but if that's what counts. So the next meeting. All right, well, I'll tell you what, I'm going to defer it, but I'm going to keep it on my item. Yeah, I'm going to keep it on the agenda.
It fell off today with.
And we have consistently used the introduction.
Mine's still there, I'm deferring mine.
And we have consistently used the introduction as the clock, the mechanism.
Mr. Juris says he wants to defer. Next item, please.
And if y'all want to rewrite that, I'll be happy to rewrite it.
Six.
That was written in 1980.
Next item's coming.
6, an ordinance creating the Port Sulphur West Bank South Economic Development District, defining the boundaries thereof from which area local tax increments will be determined and used to finance economic development projects in accordance with and as authorized by Parts 2 and 3 of Chapter 27 of Title 33 of the Louisiana Revised Statutes of 1950 as amended, and providing for other matters in connection with their foregoing. Councilmember Jurisic.
Mr. Jurisic offers there a second. Second by Mr. Schultz. Any questions from the audience?
Arthur Henry Belchase. You know, late 1980s, early 90s, Arlene Parish passed a deal like this with that TIF. Man, they're still recuperating from that. The government don't make any money off this for the people. Economic development, the government getting shaft. The people not getting the tax dollars they should get. You're bringing the companies here, they're offering the world to the people. Once they get here, they hire all outsiders. TIF is a bad idea. TIFs are always bad idea for the people.
That's the ITEP, Mr. Henry.
Here, Mr. Henry.
This, if a business comes in in this district, the taxes it would pay to the state stays in that district where it's at.
Providing they don't get a tax exemption from the state. If you got heavy industrial companies coming here, they're going to be tax exempt.
This is a different tax.
A parish tax, a state tax. State and parish.
Instead of going to the state. Mr. Jurisic?
Yes.
Mr. Jurisic?
This is not a tax to the people.
I know, I didn't say it was a tax for the people.
We give the state 4%, I believe it is, 4.5%. This will get us. Go ahead, Chris, go ahead.
Go ahead, Chris.
So what happens is we collect 1% sales tax.
Right.
This TIF in this district, let's say we have a board, which is, and then we have to approve. We say out of that 1%, 0.25 is going to go to the TIF. We give 4.5% to the state. They will match that 0.25. So we give 0.25. The state gives 0.25. It has to stay in that TIF district for infrastructure projects, water, sewer, roads, whatever. It's not a new tax. It is just basically guaranteeing the state's match instead of all the money going to the state and then one representative and two senators fighting for money coming back to Plaquemines. Well, at least we got guaranteed 0.25 staying in Plaquemines Parish. What you're talking about is ITEP. That's an exemption. That's completely different. But a TIF basically guarantees the money that we collect to stay, that we will have to approve. Again, this just creates the district, but to actually allocate that money, we'll have to approve again. But that guarantees money in that TIF district for only infrastructure projects. That's it. It can't be used to do anything else except for infrastructure.
Okay. As long as for infrastructure, I can live with that. I can live with that.
Mr. Champagne?
Yeah, I discussed this with President Hinckley and Mr. Marco this morning, because my concern was we initially start these off, like in your district where VG is, for instance, your largest revenue generator, and they're going to start off with a large ass of funds, and other areas won't have it. My concern was initially take a close look at this and reapportion or redistribute funds to areas that haven't got that, so we can continue our infrastructure growth throughout the parish. And they said they would certainly look at that. So as we start this off, it's going to be a little clunky, but we want to make sure that some of the, for instance, some of the infrastructure money that would be put in this TIF district, now that it's getting a little bump, we can level it back off and take that and push it back to, say, District 9, who doesn't have their TIF established yet, just so we can keep our infrastructure going, because we were doing a really good job. And once we establish TIFs across the parish, it'll all kind of level off. But initially, that was my concern. They said, no, by all means, they're going to take a look at that and make sure we're managing it properly so we keep the growth going. I yield.
Mr. Edwards?
Yeah, the one concern that I had, that I'm really trying to understand is section 5, and that's the governing of the district, because how it would be governed, while it says that's provided by District Act, the district shall be administered and governed by a board of commissioners, the board as follows: the president or the designee, a member of the parish council, appointed by the parish president, the chairman and director of the Plaquemine Parish Port and Terminal District, and elected school board members of the school board, appointed by the superintendent, and a member of the business community within the district. When I initially heard this, I thought they were saying automatically it would be the council member of the district. But I'm not getting that from this. It would be the council member of the district. And then, so it's like while we're the council, we're creating a governing board. And this governing board would meet and bring stuff to us for approval. That's the part I'm still trying to get clarity on, that this is a governing board. Because it's not that the council is in control. It's almost like this is each district. For instance, Mitch is doing District 6, 7, wherever he's at. I create one in District 1. District 1. Then I thought automatically I would be on there, and the school board district members of that area would be involved. So I'm still trying to understand the governing board and why there need to be a governing board. It's just that governing part in the middle of this is still the stuff that I need some clarity. It's a gray area for me. So can anybody give me some clarity about the members and who has authority that the governing board or the council?
So the governing board is set up by the House Bill 88 by Connick. And we are designating that Ed Commission as the governing body for all the TIFs. So it's going to be one commission for whatever TIFs that are set up. This means that you have one set of eyes on the bigger picture, and they do come back to the council. Local people are making decisions, not a board in Baton Rouge. That's what, because this becomes a sub-political division of the state. It creates a one-stop shop for businesses. Also, I'd like to be clear, the businesses have to agree to this tool that's being put in our toolbox. The businesses have to decide they want to come into a CEA with us to make this happen. And at this point, we're just setting, after this is adopted, a baseline. Anything under the baseline stays in the general fund and does not impact the fire, the schools, any of that. It's the new money coming above the baseline once we lock in. You always want to lock in the baseline when you don't have any taxes there, so you have a larger TIF for the infrastructure. Why would we want Baton Rouge to make decisions for our infrastructure instead of us?
My question is, and I didn't get the answer. If I'm having a TIF in my district, would I be the commissioner, or I don't have to be the commissioner? This council could appoint any commissioner to be on something in my district.
We already have a TIF commission. It'll be one TIF commission for the parish, no matter where the TIF districts are. So your TIF right now, the TIF commission, the Ed Commission, the chair is Chris Schultz. So that was decided when he was the port chair. Keith Hinckley, Mitch Juricic, Nico Tesevich from the school board, and Corey Alborough as the business person. I act as the secretary, much like the council secretary. I act as the commission secretary. So it's only one set of eyes to bring to you the TIF, the CEAs.
You good, Mr.?
I do have a one-pager if anyone would like the one-pager, and I sent all of you the one-pager.
Mr. Edwards?
Also, I would also like to add to this, Councilman Edwards, that in August of 2024, when you're thinking about the 11-mile extension and you're thinking about the rail realignment, the former port director decided that in his funding streams, and I have the evidence here if you'd like to see it, that a TIF in that district would support the 11-mile extension, and it would also help support the rail realignment. So this was a part of the the Ports Master Plan as a funding stream.
I have one question about the board. So I know we put up money and the state's going to match it, right?
Yes, sir.
Does the school board put money and the sheriff's department put tax money, or just us?
It's just us.
So why do they have to be on the board?
That's as law in House Bill 88, Senate Bill 88.
Mhm. So I think they ought to put some money up to match.
I'll bring that before the commission.
Mr. Newsom.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So this is TIF, and I guess it kind of answers Mr. Henry's question. Sales tax only, correct?
This will be sales tax.
No property tax?
We're one of those strange parishes. This law was written for us because we did not meet the TIF law because of lack of population. And the strange way the law is written is that we had a choice of property or sales. In this case, it would be sales.
Sales tax only, so it goes.
Yes, sir.
Mrs. Schultz.
And I just want to be clear, we can't put fire sales tax because that's dedicated by the vote of the people. I think school board technically could put one of their tax because it's very vague, but a lot of theirs is very, but it has to be used for certain stuff. So it's only our 1% sales tax that goes to the general fund that can be used. Sheriff technically could too, because he could, infrastructure could, I mean, technically there are, well, actually no, the way he wrote his is for pay raises and stuff like that. So it's based on how those taxes were created, which is why we can't do property tax either, because all of ours are dedicated for certain particular things. So that it's only our 1% sales tax that could be. And again, we could say, no, nobody could agree to this. No business could agree to this, and nothing will ever come. And 3 years later, per law, the TIF goes away. I mean, so this is just setting up the framework for the TIF, and this was done by Conic back in 24 because we were at the time, I mean, still talking about Peters Road Bridge, rail extension, all this stuff, which is infrastructure, and he made sure there was original law had that we could issue debt. I talked to Conic, I'm like, absolutely not. The TIF district, he took that out of the law. So there's certain things that that is in the law that protects Plaquemines Parish as a whole.
Correct. And I'd like to speak to Councilman Edwards as an example. When you're thinking about the pipe going under the river for water that we had discussed, even though when it hits the east bank on the other side, that's out of the area of this TIF, because it extends, that would be allowable. You wouldn't stop a project at the borders if the project begins in the TIF.
Well, I'm that part really confused me to see the relationship to water under the river have to do with this TIF project. But, infrastructure, it really confused. And if that's the case, then why do we need to set up one in every district, anyway? So why can't we just have one TIF? Then you saying each district, because my understanding that each district had to approve this. Am I right or wrong about that?
Right. What we did was we always concerned about the residents and protecting the residents. So instead of doing all of Plaquemines Parish as one TIF, when you look at the boundaries and lines, it goes around residents. So it's not a TIF where future administrations could say we can put anything there next to a home. So when you think about it that way, it's going around, when you look at the lines, it goes around residential areas.
But still, again, my understanding, because I have this on the agenda for our two community meeting, because my understanding that you're looking at each area of the parish that could be an industrial zone area based on bringing some business in that area for whatever economic development reason. And so it was my understanding that you was creating in each area so that the residents could decide on whether they want that. And that's because I was under understanding that this have to be incorporated and each area would have their own incorporated TIF. If I'm wrong with what I'm saying?
No, you are correct. And when you think about listening to Mr. Brock and his concerns about economic growth, when you look at the boundaries of the East Bank, it was in consideration of what your residents have said at town hall meetings. If the residents after our town hall this month happens and you would like it to be just one area, one TIF from the St. Bernard line to Bohemia, we can reconstruct that as you want. But right now, it's around areas that there could be TIF without interrupting the residents.
But again, my understanding that with each area, if you want to create this industrial zone, that the constituency in the area should agree whether they want this a part of it. My question is, I'm wondering, is that really the case based on understanding the governing of the board? That's all I'm saying. The governing part of this make me wonder, whether that's needed because the governor can make decisions. So what role community have in their put? I think the selling thing that's in this whole promotion is that the money stays in the district. Seems like that's the caveat, right?
Yes,
that the money stays in the district, right? But my question is, who make that decision, how I make that decision. That's I'm still trying to understand the governing, that each area have its own governing board that's incorporated and how it's incorporated.
So for the TIF, the TIF has one commission for all the TIF areas to keep it big picture, one set of eyes on the focus. But it will come back to the council. So it's much like the zoning board in that thought process.
But that's what I'm saying. If it's like the zoning board, then why do we need to have one set up in every area if it serves like the zoning board? The zoning board is set up, but you have each commissioners have representative on the zoning board so they know what's in the area. In this case right here, you having a decision being made with a commissioner not even from that district. And you could just a minute ago when we were just with Mr. LaFrance and Jewett, the kind of stuff just came from that. So I just asked, I think the concept is a great concept to keeping money in the district, but it's just the governing part of it that I'm still confused on.
Yes, sir.
And I'm not saying I'm totally against it at this point. I still need some more information to understand that.
I'll be happy to.
Mr. Jurasich?
Yes, phew, thanks, Ralph. No, just to clarify what I think you're talking about. These districts have to be strategically placed when the tax base starts to hit its lowest revenue stream. Like the first one passed on the Walker Road, Peters Road bypass. There's nothing going on there. There's no tax there. So you start at the lowest level. And that's where you want to, that's why they different. That's why they're in different areas. You can't do it parish-wide as a whole because there are sales taxes that are taking place in some areas. And we don't want to hit those areas where you already had a tax rate that's high. We want to hit the lowest level tax rate we can, because from that point, we want to grow it from the ground up. We don't want to be midstream and try to make pennies when we could be making dollars. And that's the reason it's different areas at different times. You sitting on a good one on the East Bank, you might want to consider it. You got a real good one sitting over there.
Can I respond to him, Mr. Chairman, just for clarity?
Yes, sir. After Ms. McCarty, keep it in mind.
Hey, Mr. Marco, thank you for this work.
Speak in the mic, please.
Mr. Marco, thank you for this work. Now, I have a question. I understand that it's best to do this when the baseline is low. And in Exhibit A, this is Port Sulphur West Bank South Economic Development. Is there a West Bank North, like for Engineers Road? Because before C&C Marine builds that new company, would it be good to have a TIF there, or couldn't we?
I'm going to let Mr. Jurasich answer that because I just see him out the corner of my eye.
Okay.
Wait, he got to wait till after Rev.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, it is the Belchase West Bank North TIF. That was the first one, and it comes all the way around, and it hits that area.
Okay, so it's
Yes.
already established?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay, great.
It starts on Walker Road and comes.
Mr. Edwards?
Yeah, so again, Mitch, so each area, well, how many is gonna be on the West Bank? They haven't been predetermined, right? Or just go one?
We have
So how do you come up with the number, how many, that's what I'm saying, how do we come up with numbers saying there need to be 2 on the West Bank and 3 on the East Bank?
It's based on where the business development is. It's like the future development. Future development, like this, in this case, it's Venture Global. And the one already that's created is along Walker Road, because we're trying to develop that. And the last one's gonna be Bell Chase proper, that will basically be where the businesses are, not all the residential, but along Highway 23, Bell Chase proper, right?
And is it the nature of the business?
No.
Because that's the part, because I know all areas got some kind of business enveloped in it. That's why I thought it was based on, and it's based on businesses that deal with the state or just the local?
No, it's whatever businesses. And again, as she said, they have to agree, like, it's more for new businesses than existing businesses or expansion or something like that. It's not like a restaurant's here, okay, we're going to do a tip for the restaurant, but like the expansion at Venture Global or along Walker Road, it's going to be new businesses, or Engineers Road, if CNC, I'm just using CNC, that's the first one that came, if they do a major expansion, it's more for expansion. You got Stonehaven.
Well, see, you just answered my question, because you say it's not about just a restaurant, we're really talking about industry. Because you just said it's not about restaurant, that's what I'm saying, and that's a business.
Like, I was using
But that's not a good example for my analysis.
with restaurants and
I'm not gonna hold it up, because I'm having a community
This
meeting
was
on it.
introduced 2 weeks ago. And if you didn't understand it, you could have called Mr. Marco and went over it. And here we all spent over half an hour.
It came up here.
Questions been called. Machines are open.
Oh.
Mr. Edwards. Mr. LaFrance. No. Let the record show it passes 8-0 with 1 absent. Mr. LaFrance stepped out.
Item C, a resolution concerning approval of partial settlement in the following litigation as to a specific and singular defendant and authorizing the parish president to do all things necessary and proper to carry out said partial settlement recommended by legal counsel and otherwise to provide with respect thereto.
I'll offer ask for a second. Second by Dr. Gui. Any questions from the audience? Administration? Council? Machines are open. It passes 9-0. Next item.
An ordinance to amend the 2026 manpower structure and operating expenditure budget and otherwise to provide with respect thereto. Councilmember Kotnovich.
I'll offer ask for a second. Second by Mr. Jurasich. Any questions from the audience? Administration? Council? Machines are open. Mr. Schultz that left. Passes 8-0 with 1 absent. Mr. Schultz has left.
For good. E, an ordinance authorizing the parish president to execute fair and festival cooperative endeavor agreements with 1 The Plaquemine Social Aid and Pleasure Club. 2, Plaquemines Parish Heritage and Seafood Festival. 3, Plaquemines Parish Orange Festival. 4, Plaquemines Community Development Group. 5, Prominent Youth. 6, Family Gross. 7, Empire South Past Tarpon Rodeo. And 8, the Croatian American Society. And at its discretion, depending on the availability and need to allocate certain PPG property and resources to those organizations hosting said festivals in conformity with Article 3 of Chapter 17.5 of the Parish Code of Ordinances and otherwise to provide with respect thereto. Councilmember Kotnovich.
Should we add the Buras Fire Department in there?
Yeah, you can add an amendment if you'd like.
Yes, I'd like to add, after Croatian American Society, number 9, Buras Volunteer Fire Department. And with that, I'll offer. Ask for a second. Second by Mr. Jurisic. Any questions from the audience? Administration? Council? Machines are open. Yes. It's as amended. Yeah. Passes 8 with 1 absent.
F, an ordinance to amend the 2026 Solid Waste Disposal Fund operating expenditure budget, Solid Waste District 1 Department, and otherwise to provide with respect thereto. Councilmember Kotnovich.
I'll offer. Ask for a second. Second by Mr. Jurisic. Any questions from the audience? Administration? Council? That truck goes to the south. Machines open. Passes 8-0.
G, an ordinance to amend the 2026 Waterworks and Sewage Fund operating expenditure budget, Waterworks and Sewage Operations Department, and otherwise to provide with respect thereto. Councilmember Kotnovich.
I'll offer. Ask for a second. Second by Mr. Jurisic. Any questions from the audience? Administration? Council? Mr. Champagne?
This is an issue that I've brought up before and got filleted over, but again, it needs to be discussed. You know, this is part of the millage that failed. You know, this, again, we've already put forth $3.1 million to bolster this account. Now we're looking for another $2 million because the millage failed. We also did a rate study. The rate study showed that we should have increased over 50%. I don't even know what the numbers are. It's beyond that now. We're not paying for our consumables. We are here now. We're going to vote on this. But now, in this form, it takes from somewhere else. You know, the nice-to-have stuff is going to be depleted. No more nice-to-have stuff as we pull another $2 million if this passes. So all the things that you want for quality of life, other things go away, you know, and a lot of infrastructure that we would normally spend. My district voted so had the wisdom to vote to pass this, and so did District 1. Those 2 districts voted for it. No one else passed it. Now our chickens have come over to roost. So later in this fiscal year, when we start looking at things we need, things we'd like to have, we have to be ready to say no and explain it to the people. So I think this is something that needed to be discussed. I know I'll get hammered again about bringing it up, but it's a topic no one wants to discuss. Water's not free. The system itself requires revenue to keep it up and running. And we're spending a lot of money on this to really get it up to speed. We're about to vote on the clear well for Port Sulphur coming up. And by God, we need to do that, I think. It's important, but it costs money. But that's money we might not have in the future, later in the year, because we're trying to pay our water bill. It's essentially what we're doing, is paying the water bill and now paying for maintenance and some contractors to do this. But again, it's all part of what the millage will probably cover. I yield.
Mr. Jurisic?
Yes, I'm going to let you know, Mr. Champagne, I'm not going to let you take the bullet alone on this one, because at some point we do have to step up and take care of our enterprise funds. You know, we got to start being able to, you know, when you look at solid waste, you know, it supports itself. I mean, you know, we got to get some of our departments more self-supportive. I know it hurts to even talk like that, but I do agree with you. At some point, we really need to get serious in this conversation. I yield.
Mr. Edwards?
I just want to bring to your attention, Councilman, we're discussing something that people had on the agenda. They could have called and asked questions. I'm just going back to your statement. I just want to bring that back to you, because you told me people questioning, having conversation when they should have called.
It wasn't a question.
I just want to remind you of your condescending statement.
It wasn't condescending. You had 2 weeks to ask the questions. Mr. Newsom?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and this will be again, agree with Councilmember Champagne and Councilmember Jurisic on their item. We are running an enterprise fund that is not supporting itself. Spoke to Mr. DeMarco this morning about this item, Guys, this is going to get deep into more than just asking money. If we don't do something, we are in jeopardy, and I don't know when it's going to happen, of losing federal dollars with grants. Because when they look at a fund, an enterprise fund, that doesn't support itself, they're going to say, well, why are we going to give you more money if you can't support yourself? So if we don't do something, I don't know what we're going to, we're going to lose. We got a bunch of grants out there through now asking for water grants. I don't know, and probably, I don't know how much it is. It's probably over $20 million worth of grants we're asking
We
for.
have two opportunities right now. I don't know the acronyms of them, but one's 17 and one is 22 million.
So I'm-
And I'm having to write letters of explanation as to
I know the
why we didn't move forward with some of our water rate studies and moving forward with some of the water rate increases and how do we pay the deficit on with water. And I'm having to say, we use our undesignated, unreserved funds for that. And will that fly? I don't know. But that's the only explanation that I can give them.
Well, like I said, we're using our surplus fund and it's surplus fund, which was same, it was set up for, the surplus fund was set up not for this, but we are using it for that. With that, I yield. Thank you.
Any other questions? Machines are open. Passes 7 with 1 no vote.
H, an ordinance to amend the 2026 General Fund Operating Expenditure Budget Legal Judgments Department for final judgment settlements for qualified judgment creditors and otherwise to provide with respect thereto. Councilmember Kotnovich.
I'll offer, ask for a second. Second by Mr. Jurisic. Any questions from the audience? Administration? Council? Machines are open. It passes 8-0.
An ordinance to amend the 2026 Public Health Fund Operating Expenditure Budget Ambulances General Department and otherwise to provide with respect thereto. Councilmember Schultz.
Mr. Schultz, Mr. Champagne offers their second. Second by Mr. Jurisic. Any questions from the audience? Administration? Council? Mr. Newsom?
Yeah, this is, and I saw the paperwork, this is to buy a chassis to put on.
This is to buy a new chassis and then to mount the box that came off of the wrecked unit.
Do we have, I did see an email floating around about some insurance money coming back. Is that?
Yes, we're waiting on the check to be cut. That's still pending. That's still in litigation. That's still being negotiated. The legal advised me.
I understand.
There's not a whole lot we can say about it because it's still pending.
So will the insurance money?
We're waiting on the check to be cut.
When
Yes,
that
sir.
comes back, will that go back into the?
It'll go back to wherever y'all put it.
So, okay. All right, thank you.
Any other questions? Machines are open. It passes 8-0.
A resolution grant conditional approval for a plan of subdivision of tracks A and B to sections 2 and 73 T14S R24E Southeastern District of Louisiana west of the Mississippi River, Belchase Parish of Plaquemines into lots 1 through 54 square A, lots 1 through 30 square B, lots 1 through 24 square C, Barrier Estates, and the dedication of George Boulevard, Numa Street, Alvin Street, and Alvin Circle, and dedication of drainage servitudes and dedication sewer servitude, Belchase, Plaquemines Parish, Louisiana, as shown on the plans and plat of Survey Dufresne Surveying and Engineering, Inc., dated June 1st, 2021, revised June 21st, 2024. The owner having fulfilled all the requirements of the subdivision and re-subdivision ordinance of the Parish of Plaquemines without cost to the Plaquemines Parish Government or the Parish of Plaquemines, and otherwise to provide with respect thereto. Councilmember McCarty. This has Fill in the blank.
A fill in a blank and an amendment. I don't have anything to fill in the blanks.
Want to cue in, Ms. McCarty?
No, there's also, well,
Ms. McCarty?
conditionally approved. I don't know when that is.
Do you have?
Rennie,
the-
what do you, I'm going to offer and ask for a second, but first, Rennie, what's supposed to go in the fill in the blank? That's all I can think.
What is she asking?
Just today's date, that's all I can think, yeah.
No.
Fill in the blank on 9J.
Yeah.
Regis subdivision.
Not the date adopted.
Yeah, they'll fill it in.
Okay, I'll figure it out.
Yeah, it'll be,
We do have an amendment, though. It's going to be inserted above the current last, be it resolved, and it reads as follows. Be it further resolved by the Plaquemines Parish Council that the plan of subdivision conditionally approved herein is exempt from ordinance number 26-14 because the application was received on June 12, 2024, more than a year and a half prior to the adoption of ordinance number 2614, and the applicant at all times negotiated with the parish in good faith to address the parish's draining concerns.
I offer.
Ms. McCarty offers there, second? I'll second. Any questions from the audience? Administration, council, Ms. McCarty, you still,
Oh, I'm sorry.
machines open? Passes 8-0.
Okay, an ordinance to amend the 5-year capital improvement plan Port Sulphur Water Treatment Plant Clear Well Replacement Project and otherwise to provide with respect thereto, and this has a fill in the blank. The emergency fund.
Mr. LaFrance offers there, second? Second by Mr. Champagne. Any questions from the audience? Administration, council, Mr. Edwards,
Oh, no, I'm sorry, that was a mistake, Doc.
Mr. Champagne?
Earlier about the clear well and us, investing money in getting our infrastructure and water is very important to us. And again, that's why it's so important that we go back and really look at how we're paying for water because, later in this fiscal year, we may not have had the money for this. And this is critical to getting Port Sulphur back up. So again, I just wanted to put an exclamation point on how important it is that we go back and look at how we're paying for our water. I yield.
Mr. LaFrance?
Yes, this is a holding tank. It holds treated water. Do you know how many gallons that we anticipate? Anybody? 500,000 and it's how many gallons larger than the previous one we have? The previous ones was 300, 250. Oh, so we double. Great, wonderful, and that's going to accommodate the residents and commerce. Yes. All right. So often.
Mr. Edwards?
Yeah, and this is to Mr. Champagne. I think it's really, at some point, you need to introduce something, for us for the increase, because I know you've been talking for a while. But ask them to present something, because I think we can be talking about this forever, every time something come up. But at some point, somebody need to bring something before this council and acting for increase, or to put it on the ballot for the voter.
Be my guest.
Yeah, I know. You know our District 1 voted for it, so.
You done, Mr. Edwards?
Yeah, I yield, I'm sorry.
Yes, any other questions? Machines are open. Passes 8-0.
Alan, ordinance authorizing and directing the parish president or his designated to issue the 2026 budgeted 1% cost of living pay increase to each classified and non-classified employee immediately with an effective date of March 16, 2026, and otherwise to provide with respect thereto. Councilmember jurisdiction, this has changes.
On line 1, it's going to read an ordinance requesting the Civil Service Commission to provide a 1% cost of living raise for all classified employees, and 2, authorize as opposing to authorizing, and direct as opposed to directing. And the remainder of the preamble is still as read. As what am I looking for?
Written.
As written. Thank you. On the digest, It has an ordinance to request the Civil Service Commission to, and then on the second line of the digest, and to direct the parish president to issue the cost of living increase to each classified and non-classified employees. There's a new whereas that says, whereas the administration and parish council would like the Civil Service Commission to adjust the minimum salary with a 1% cost of living and adjust each following step by 1%, and to amend Rule 4 to allow for this adjustment. The first section has been changed, and it reads as follows. It hereby requests the Civil Service Commission to provide a 1% cost of living pay increase to the classified employees and adjust each following step by 1%, and amend Rule 4 to allow for this adjustment. The next section is now labeled number 2. The third section is now labeled number 3, and those are the changes.
Mr. Jurasich off, is there a second? I'll second. Any questions from the audience? Administration? Council? Machine's open.
Oh, Mr. LaFrance, I'm sorry.
It passes 7-0. Mr. LaFrance did a verbal yes, so it's 8-0.
And thank you very much from all the employees. It's greatly appreciated.
M, a resolution to adopt the required updates to the parish grants manual policies and procedures and acknowledges Environmental Protection Agency's emerging contaminants in small or disadvantaged communities program funds be administered in accordance with the Louisiana Office of Community Development grantee administrative manual and otherwise to provide with respect thereto. Councilmember Jurasich.
Mr. Jurasich off, is there a second? Second by Mr. Edwards. Any questions from the audience?
Parish Blocks, 156 Enos Campbell. This gonna consider all kind of anything that's gonna do any pollution to the environment, especially in small communities like the East Bank. That's what they're saying.
Mr. Jurasich.
This is just to revise the manual because we have several grant projects coming, and I think one of them was the dual feed in the Cedar Grove area and stuff. It's just to get the manual more in line with receiving these grants. It's more of a grant situation type of issue, so.
All right, because we still have that problem with all the ships there that docked in the river, putting a lot of soot in the air.
Yeah, this has nothing to do with that.
All right, thanks.
Mr. Brock, before you go, I want to reassure you that long as I'm living on the East Bank and sitting up here, I would not agree to any kind of pollution in the area where I live. I just want.
All right, I appreciate that.
Any other questions? Administration, council, machines open. Passes 8-0.
And an ordinance to amend the 5-year capital improvement plan Pavilion Fort Jackson project and otherwise to provide with respect thereto. Councilmember Kokrovich.
I'll ask for a second. Second by Ms. McCarty. Any questions from the audience? Administration? Council, Mr. Newsom.
Thank you. And I guess I should call you, like I said, this is just to build a pavilion at Fort Jackson?
Yes. We're supposed to have money coming from FEMA, maybe?
Well, so they're closing out Katrina. We would have not have gotten this project done from closeout, and so we would have lost the money. And so what we made a decision to do was to apply these monies, and they're like $900,000 to the overpayments to FEMA so that we wouldn't lose the money. And so in order to do that, so we did that, right? So we wouldn't lose the money. And then, but this money, 900,000 of it was always supposed to go towards Fort Jackson. So in speaking with Mr. Kokrovich and the parish president and some other council members, I think we decided to try not to lose that money, and then appropriate 500,000, which is 450,000 less than what would have previously happened, towards the Fort Jackson Pavilion and stage.
There's a chance to get reimbursed from FEMA for this?
We've already been reimbursed. So we've been reimbursed, but we would not have finished a project in time. So we applied the money to the overpayments so we wouldn't lose it. Does that make sense? Sorry if it doesn't, but.
So we got money from FEMA.
Correct.
We didn't spend it.
We didn't get, okay, let me rephrase that. We didn't get the money. The project was approved. The project, it was obligated. So the project was obligated, but we would not have finished the project before closeout. And so what we did was we said, take that obligated money, put it towards any overpayments, and we would use parish money, because otherwise we would be using parish money towards the overpayment. Does that make sense? So all we're saying is we're going to use the FEMA money to pay the overpayment, and we're use parish money to build a pavilion, 450,000 less than otherwise would have happened.
Wow. Okay. So.
And that was not our fault. We've had this project to FEMA like a year ago, and they were not moving on it. And so it was slow going, and then basically they came out and said, we're not extending Katrina anymore whatsoever, and we were really out of options. So this is all we could do.
But it was longer than a year.
And this is the it's been longer than a year, yeah, of course. And this is it. This is the last Katrina project. There are no more Katrina projects. This is it.
So, okay, so we're going to spend, so we're going to spend $500,000, if it's approved, $500,000 out of the surplus fund for the pavilion,
but you were going to have to spend $950,000 out of the surplus fund to cover any outstanding balances with FEMA. So instead of doing that, we move in the $950 so we wouldn't lose it, and that's why we're doing the $500 with the pavilion.
What happened to the $950?
The $950 is going to the overpayments.
Okay.
It's going to balance the books with FEMA.
Okay. Well, didn't we put money on the side for the?
We do, but that's even more money that we'll be able to put back in the general fund.
I know we got some.
We put $1 million. We put $1 million up. We put $1 million up for the overpayment. Subsequent to that, the news came out. Hey, you're not going to finish a project. You're going to lose $950,000. So we said apply it to the overpayments, and we would use this for Fort Jackson because Mr. Kognovich has been trying to get this his whole term. So that's what we're doing.
Okay. So do we still have the $1 million that we put on the side for FEMA?
Yes, it's there. We haven't done anything with it. It's still there.
Well, why can't we use those funds instead of other surplus funds?
Because, number one, that money is much bigger than just Katrina. And number two, we want to see what the $950 does. So if the $950 covers a lot of the debt, and because you got to remember, closing out with FEMA, it's an ongoing process. It's not this is what you owe today. It's an ongoing process. So when we apply that money, we'll come back to the council and say, whatever GOSEP and FEMA was saying we were short, now here's the new number. So the money's there. We could put it back in the general fund if we need to, but I don't know that it makes sense to pull that money now until we kind of know where we stand with that.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Jurisic?
Yes, I think it's long overdue to have something down there to revitalize the festival grounds we had with other things as well. What size pavilion will be getting? Will it be pretty much equivalent to the Empire Safe Harbor? Or?
Yes.
Instead of the booths,
Right.
we're gonna try to use that to do a permanent stage, kind of like how we have at the multi-purpose building here.
Okay, good. That way you got a stage already there. You don't have to worry about. Great. And yeah, the booths, they take up too much room anyway. In a venue like that, I think you want to be more open.
Ms. McCarty?
I was going to ask this same question about the size. So that, if I recall, the Empire is open on the bottom floor and has a second floor?
No. It's just
Is
a
that
cover.
Okay. Okay. Well, I'd also like to make the comment off the cuff that this is probably going to be a mini economic development project as well, because down at the festival, they want to have more events, and this could potentially bring in more events. Correct. So, okay, thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions? Machines are open. Passed 8-0. Yeah.
Okay, we're going back to 8, introduction of ordinances and resolutions. An ordinance to amend and amended to readopt Section 4 of Ordinance Number 142, the Comprehensive Zoning Ordinance of Plaquemines Parish, Louisiana, as amended, and the Comprehensive Zoning District Map therein adopted by reference, and which is paraphrased thereto with reference to application number 2025-611 dated September 12, 2025, and otherwise to provide with respect thereto. And this is for Councilmember LaFrance. 10, approval of the minutes from the January 22nd, 2026 regular meeting.
I'll offer, ask for a second. Second by Mr. Edwards. Any questions from the audience, administration, council? Machines are open. Passes 8-0.
11, new business. 11A, introduction of resolutions where suspension is being sought. 11A1, a resolution authorizing and directing the parish president or his designee to do all things necessary and proper to negotiate, execute, perfect, and enforce any and all documents required to apply for a community water enrichment funds from the Office of Community Development in the amount of $156,000 for water line improvements on East X and West X streets, and otherwise to provide with respect thereto. Councilmember McCarty.
Ms. McCarty offers as second. I'll second. And this is to vote on suspension. Any questions from the audience, administration, council? Machines are open. Dr. Gui stepped out for a second. It passes 7-0. Can you read it again?
A resolution authorizing and directing the parish president or his designee to do all things necessary and proper to negotiate, execute, perfect, and enforce any and all documents required to apply for a community water enrichment funds from the Office of Community Development in the amount of $156,000 for water line improvements on East X and West X streets, and otherwise to provide with respect thereto. Councilmember McCarty.
Ms. McCarty offer. Ms. McCarty offers there a second. Second by Mr. Newsom. Any questions from the audience? Administration, Mr. Newsom.
Is this any requirement of any match for this? No. Thank you.
Mr. Edwards.
You know, Mr. President, why do Ms. McCarthy have to direct the office to do something like this? I'm just trying to wonder why this had to come before us.
I'm directed like this all the time. This is not the first time.
Can Ms. McCarty answer you?
She's looking to get some monies.
Mr. Edwards.
Yes, please.
Ms. McCarty.
So we apply for a grant, but there's a window of opportunity to apply, and it's on a portal, and we have to get it in by a certain date, and that's why we're doing it as a suspension so that we can get it in. And this is for the water line, the main water line that goes between under the bridge has been damaged so many times when they've lost water that we've put so many C-clamps that it's now too weak to maintain, so we're going to replace it with this grant.
And again, so I'm wondering why, again, this didn't go through the process to the government, community acting who do that. You know, why something like this? I'm just, huh?
We're applying for a grant.
Don't we have a grant officer or something?
We do. I don't know what to tell you, but
we have to accept it.
Some federal grants require the governing authority to have a resolution attached for him to move forward. So this checks that box.
Just request that. That's part of the
Right. Not all grants require,
but this
one does, yes.
That's the simple answer. Thank you.
Any other questions? Machines open. It passes 8-0. Next item.
A resolution authorizing and directing the parish president or his designated to do all things necessary and proper to negotiate, execute, perfect, and enforce any and all documents required to apply for a local government assistance program grant from the Office of Community Development in the amount of $60,000 to purchase a vehicle for the following departments: one mid-size pickup for buildings, 1 half-ton pickup for Public Services Department, and small equipment for Prime Department. Councilmember McCarty.
I offer no.
Ms. McCarty offers there a second. Second by Mr. Champagne. Any questions from the audience? Administration? Council? Mr. LaFrance?
Yes. You can buy all three equipment for 60,000?
That's a good deal.
I think this is adding to what we already have, if I understand. It's a four-door 250 pickup truck.
That's 70,000.
Well, I guess we're doing we're buying very well these days.
Mr. Edwards?
So prom, this is something prom is asking us to do?
Again, it's a
I
grant.
think prom should know how much something costs, Mr. LaFrance. I'm just saying.
It's a grant.
I'm like you, but, huh?
It's a grant. I
a
know
grant.
we've gotten it before. We bought mosquito
Can we
trucks.
get that many things on that grant? I mean, prom should know whether
last
this is a good
Yeah,
thing.
lawnmowers and different things.
Okay. So, not necessarily this, but you use the $6,000. Okay, that makes sense.
Any other questions?
No, sir.
Machines open. It passes 8-0.
A resolution authorizing and directing the parish president or his designated to do all things necessary and proper to negotiate, execute, perfect, and enforce any and all documents required to apply for a local government assistance program grant from the Office of Community Development in the amount of $60,000 to purchase a vehicle for the following departments: one mid-size pickup for buildings, 1 half-ton pickup for Public Services Department, and small equipment for the Prom Department. Councilmember McCarty.
Offer enough.
Ms. McCarty offers there a second. Second by Mr. Newsom. Any questions from the audience? Administration, council, machines are open. Mrs. Champagne left. Passed 7-0. Next item.
B, District 1 update, discussion on, defer it.
Next item.
District 7. You want to defer it?
Yes.
Take it off? District 9 update, Highway
1 and 4.
Highway 11 update, and Blake Burris presentation on Pelican cleaners.
Did we ever get a date? I see they spray painting some stuff, but
The 23rd. They got the notice to proceed this past Monday, but the latest I'm hearing is the 23rd. We should start seeing some, February 23rd.
we talked about it in the meetings, and they didn't have no spray paint around it yet, so I don't want them to forget the school lane, that bad spot.
Okay. We'll talk about it.
Thank you.
We'll make sure.
Is Mr. Blake Burris here? Give your name and address for the record.
Presentation.
He's giving a presentation. Garbage can cleaning.
All right, my name is Blake Pullman Burris. I live at 2009 Diagracias Lane. I just come today. I want to thank you all for giving me the time to present this business I run. It's Pelican Cleaners. We're a professional garbage can and dumpster cleaning business. We go around and, take care of the residential, commercial, and any business that would, or resident that would need the cleaning. So we're family, locally owned, family operated. Like I said, we provide eco-friendly sanitation services for the communities and, around our region. So being from South Louisiana, your garbage can around starting at this time gets very disgusting. So maggots, bacteria, and different kind of rodents, and it just gets to where it's unbearable to even go throw your trash out. So our service provides to where we get rid of that, get your garbage can looking pretty much brand new. So we have a specialized trailer that it's all self-contained, so it has a 350-gallon clear water tank and a 300-gallon raw water tank. It's ran through a heating element in which we have a 360-degree spout that shoots 200-degree water into the garbage cans, and we also have pressure washers that wash the entire outside of it. So our prices break down to where monthly, bi-monthly, quarterly, and one time. Each of the monthly, bi-monthly, and quarterly, we give half off of first cleaning. It's up to 2 garbage cans. Each additional one is a $10 fee. So we also offer, like I said, the commercial dumpsters. So we would go clean the dumpsters, the pads around it. We offer driveway and sidewalk cleanings. And we also do like bulk pricing to where for a full neighborhood, a full area, we can change our prices to help mitigate the cost of everybody paying the same thing. So this is the areas right now we service. So we service Plaquemines, and we're trying to get, bigger and get the word out so everybody knows this service. This is a service that not a lot of people know about. And, like the old thing, you go put bleach in your garbage can, but at the end of the day, it's still dirty. So, you smell bleach, but that smell will come back. So what we do, it's 99% reduction of all harmful bacteria inside your garbage can. It improves curb appeal, because I know when the ferry was shut down, driving to the port office every day, all the garbage cans, overflowing, and when they get dumped, they still leave garbage inside of them. So they don't, fully clean them, and so it gets infested with a lot of different bacteria. And so our goal is to support parish sanitation and public health objectives. So our environmental responsibility, we use eco-friendly agents, so our cleaning and deodorizers are eco-friendly and biodegradable. Our system is all self-contained, so nothing gets spilled over. It has lips and features on the inside of the hopper that prevents the water from coming out, and it all drains into the gray water tank. So we are 100% locally owned, and by doing this, we hope that we can grow our business to where we can, get more trailers and more equipment to service this small niche operation and be able to hire from within our community. So today, it's not only a outreach to show the public. We're interested in a pilot program to, potentially get with the parish to see about a contract or something of that nature to be able to bring it to the community and be able to give the better prices due to the quantity that we have. So what we'll be able to do is select the high-need neighborhoods for the initial launch. Like I said, give incentivized bulk prices for large-scale parish programs. Coordinate with the existing waste routes, so right after the garbage pickups, and joint community campaigns for public health. And so pretty much in closing, I just want to, again, thank y'all for the time. And I hope that, this brought a light to a up-and-coming industry that not many people know about. And I hope to be able to show it through our region and get it to where we can bring Plaquemines and it's a small things. Not everybody, gets their car washed and their house washed and everything, but, the garbage cans are a thing that get overlooked. Granted, they're by the road, and a lot of places have to bring, like HOAs have to bring them in their house. In their garage. So then your garage starts to smell. So we just hope that we can, get the word out enough that more people will be able to sign up and get Blackman's Beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. McCarty?
Congratulations, Mr. Burris, on your company. Is this a franchise?
No, ma'am. So there are different companies around the United States that do this. I had the opportunity to franchise with an existing company out of Utah. I decided to go a different route and do it pretty much on my own, start with our name, logo, and I had the trailer built by them. And so I just felt better that I own it and I don't have to, worry about them because of their market potentially is different than ours. And so I knew it was a small, few people that knew about this. And so I just wanted to take it on my own and be able to build it from the ground up.
Good. Do you have insurance in case you break a can?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. That's someone texted me that question.
Yes, ma'am. We're fully insured, fully licensed.
So it'd be great if you could buy cans in bulk with other parishes and help us get a discount.
To buy cans?
Yeah, if you're servicing cans, just think about it. I'm just trying to help you with your business.
I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Any other questions? I'll volunteer you could go clean my can for free anytime.
Okay.
Thank you. Any other questions? Do I have a motion to adjourn? Motion by Mr. LaFrance, second by Mr. Newsom. Machine's open.